Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new epic Doctor Who review for today. So for this Doctor review, I'm going to be reviewing one of my favourite stories from season 21. It is Planet of Fire. As you can tell, I am also joined by Peter Davison, aka the Eagle Moss figure, and of course Anthony Ainley's Master from Eagle Moss as well. Because it's the only two. I do have the bigger version of Peter Davison from Character Options, but I don't have I'm not lucky enough to own a Planet of Fire set with Anthony Ainley's Master. So the only Anthony Ainley figure I've actually got is this one. So I'm going to pop the Planet of Fire here. So before getting to my actual review, I'm going to explain why this story is one of my favourites. So this is Peter Davison's second to last story as the Fifth Doctor. We also say goodbye to Mark Stretson, aka Tarlo, during this story as well, because he goes back to his own people on trial. We say hello to Nicola Bryant. Basically, Nicola Bryant plays the next companion, aka Perry, and this is her introduction story. And of course, this is Peter Davison's, the Fifth Doctor's last story with the Master. Yeah, I really do enjoy the story because, one, I really think it is a good final story for the Doctor and the Master, basically the Fifth Doctor and the Master, because I would be very disappointed if the Five Doctors was to be Anthony Ainley's last story with Peter Davison. But the fact that we got this story, and then of course Peter Davison does go off to generate the story after this one, I really want to talk about this story because I think it's absolutely brilliant. Now, as I say, this is Mark Stretton's last story. It's Nicola Bryant's first story. We say goodbye to Chameleon because Chameleon goes and dies, but I don't really care about Chameleon because I think he's not an interesting companion, basically, and I'm going to dive into that a bit. But the fact this is like literally Peter Davison and Anthony Ainley's last time on screen together as the Doctor and the Master, I really think they're absolutely brilliantly well done together. And I think this story is just absolutely superb. It does kind of give us the Master and the Doctor's kind of farewell. I love the fact that the Master does return during the Colin Baker era when it comes across the Doctor and the Irani in the Mark of Irani. So let's talk about the location setting of this story. Well, this story, believe it or not, was actually filmed in Lazzarotti. So basically, Lazzarotti was actually used for its, basically as we all know, but it was also used for the Planet of Fire as well. So it's got some great filming locations during this story. I also like the fact that some scenes are absolutely brilliant. So talking about when you kind of open up to the story and you kind of got these two Trions with the triangle of the Trion people. And of course, Tarlo later finds out that these people are from his father's ship that basically kind of crash landed on this planet a couple of centuries back or something like that. So I do love the fact this story does kind of play into Tarlo's kind of story arc, because Tarlo was basically Trioned and he was exiled onto Earth in the school. So the fact that he has to call Trion, and later on in the story he does find out that he's kind of been forgiven and he can go back to his own planet and to his own people, which is a nice way to kind of say goodbye to Tarlo in a way. So talking about the story now, I love the film location work. I think it's absolutely brilliant and absolutely amazing and absolutely fantastic. Also, I'm going to have to say, when you got Nicola Bryant playing Perry, and I think Nicola Bryant is absolutely brilliantly as Perry, but in the first episode when you kind of see her kind of having to strip off into her bikini because Howard basically left her on the boat, and basically she has to get in a bikini to go for a swim, but she ends up nearly drowning, and Tarlo goes and saves her because he's in the TARDIS, and he goes, "Hum, Earthlings," like that, and I really think that's absolutely brilliant. So for the Doctor and Tarlo's point of view, this is straight after Resurrection of the Daleks, because the Doctor is there talking about the Daleks and how bad they are, like the fact that they just said goodbye to Tegan. And Tarlo goes, "Will you miss her?" "Of course I'll miss her." Yeah, oh. I really do like the fact that this story literally does play out from the events of the Resurrection of the Daleks. So when they kind of arrive, because the TARDIS is picking up transmissions from Trial. Now, again, this does kind of play into the fact with the Master, because you've got Chameleon basically connects himself up to the TARDIS and he ends up basically screaming, and the Doctor and Tarlo are there trying to help him, and he's there talking and he's there apologising to the Doctor, blah de blah de blah. And of course he does go unconscious, and then later on in the story when the Master takes over him, because the Master basically was messing around with his tissue manipulator, basically shrinks himself down, and he needs Chameleon to actually help him to regain to his full size. So when he's there using his literal mind machine to try and get hold of the Doctor's TARDIS so he can use the TARDIS and Chameleon to basically go and rescue himself. I love the fact how Chameleon can shapeshift into Howard, basically Tegan's kind of stepdad. Sorry, Perry's kind of stepdad. I love the fact how basically he's there laughing, going, "The TARDIS is mine. Contact has been made." And then Perry's just there kind of screaming and goes, "Who are you? I am the Master, and you will obey me." I really love the way how Anthony Ainley just clicks straight back into the role of the Master. He's absolutely brilliant in this one. I really think this is my favourite Anthony Ainley story as the Master, because I think it's absolutely brilliant for Peter Davison as well. So part 2 is when he tries to gain the TARDIS and the Perry basically nicks the part of the TARDIS that the Master needs to make it work. She chases after the Doctor and Tarlo, and she's there screaming, "Doctor, Tarlo!" She's there, and you got Chameleon basically shape-shifting to the Master and basically running after them. I really think that's absolutely quite funny as well. When you get to the stuff like on the Planet of Fire, but I can't remember what the planet's called, sorry. I love the fact how basically the effects are done for the actual fire effects. Now, talking about I'm not going to dive into the whole story because I actually want you to go and watch the story yourselves. But my favourite scene is basically when Chameleon kind of puts the Master's box into the fire so the Master can try and resurrect himself. And he's there being resurrected and the Doctor's basically interfering and the Master's there going, "Oh, oh," like that. And you kind of think the Master's dead, but he's actually not. He does survive somehow. We don't know how he survives, but the Master does survive because he's in the next season. As I said in Mark and Ronnie. Again, the Doctor and Tarlo kind of say their goodbyes to each other, which is actually kind of fitting. I do really enjoy that because I really do enjoy the fact that Tarlo goes to Perry, "Look after him, will you? He does get himself into some terrible troubles." I like the fact how the Doctor and Perry end up going into the TARDIS and they're talking, and Perry says to the Doctor, "Oh, can I stay? Because I've actually got vacation, that she's on vacation for about six weeks, and she wants to join the Doctor and the TARDIS." And then of course the TARDIS basically does the TARDIS thing and just goes like that, and the Doctor goes, "Welcome aboard, Perry." I really enjoyed this story. It's absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely amazing. I highly do recommend to go and watch this story. It's just absolutely brilliant. I really do think Peter Davison and Anthony Ainley really do like pair off each other so well. I mean, I do kind of get in this story like Roger Delgado and John Pertwee vibes between the two Doctors. I mean, this is my favourite Master story for the 5th Doctor. I have to be honest with you, because Anthony Ainley, he is my favourite Master, and I just love every single one of his stories. Yes, I know some of his stories he's like pantomime, he's very panto, but in this one he's not actually panto. In this one he's absolutely playing the Master absolutely brilliant and epic and just pure amazing. I just absolutely love the Master in this story. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of the Doctor Who Planet of Fire? Let me know in the comments. Please do like, subscribe and share and join for more awesome Doctor Who content. Thank you for being absolutely amazing, and just carry on being who you all are, because thank you so much for all the support you all give me. Thank you for watching and have a cracking day.